Well, in fact, the high school... All right, here's our two stories. We are going to read, if I can grab the right books, Pete the Cat, The First Thanksgiving by Kimberly and James Dean, and Seed Sprout Pumpkin Pie. All right, so Pete the Cat and The First Thanksgiving. Pete was nervous about being a pilgrim in his class's Thanksgiving play. The first Thanksgiving, just do your best, his best friend Callie said. Happy Thanksgiving. Pete said he would try. He was ready. His mom had made him a pilgrim hat, which was really cool. So you see his little locker. Okay, at least remind everybody they have to be quiet for this section. Pete took his place at the front of the giant ship that his class had made out of cardboard. Pete was a pilgrim on the Mayflower. Who knows what the Mayflower was? Macy? Boat. It was a ship, and it's the ship that took the pilgrims from England to what was Plymouth, Massachusetts. So I don't understand. Oh, so that was the difference. The sails open, because these are wind-powered. In 1620, a group of pilgrims decided to leave England for the New World to build a new life. It was a long, long trip on a big, big ship, all the pilgrims sang. The sea was rough and very dangerous. Many pilgrims got sick. The dream of a new start in a new world made the hard trip all worth it. For more than 2 months, the pilgrims sailed. So, that took them 2 months to cross the Atlantic Ocean. You guys know how long it takes now on an airplane? Like 6 hours. That's like from the beginning of kindergarten to the end of kindergarten in the day. Real quick, right? And they even had some jets, like that one that I showed you with the pointy nose, that could make it in 3 hours, because it was super fast. But yeah, aren't we glad we don't have sailing ships anymore, huh? All right. They wondered if they would ever get there. So September, October, November. Nope, leave it alone. Leave it alone. After 65 days on the ship, the New World finally came into view. Land ho! Pete cried. All the pilgrims did a happy dance. The pilgrims arrived in the New World at Plymouth Rock, in what is now called Massachusetts. Everyone had many chores to do, like growing food, finding water, and building shelters. The first winter in the New World was long and hard. In the spring, the pilgrims had to decide whether to give up and go back to England or keep trying. The pilgrims had heard of the Native Americans, and many worried that they would not be friendly. Pete had never met a cat he didn't like, so he thought they would be kind. Pete was right. He made a new friend in Squanto. Squanto and the other Native Americans showed the pilgrims how to grow crops like corn, beans, and squash. By summer, the pilgrims had learned how to farm the new land. By the fall harvest, the pilgrims had plenty of food. To thank Squanto and the other Native Americans, the pilgrim invited them to share the harvest. This celebration became known as the first Thanksgiving. Pete was relieved when the play was over. He had remembered all of his lines. Wow, I never thought about how hard it was back then, said Pete. You did great, Callie said. Later at Thanksgiving dinner with his family, Pete said, let's all go around the table and say something we are thankful for. So Mommy Cat said, I'm thankful for my family, said Pete's mom. I'm thankful for my skateboard, said Bob. I am thankful for the brave pilgrims that started their new free world, said Pete. What are you thankful for? Okay, and we'll go on to our next book, Seed Sprout Pumpkin Pie by Jill Esbaum. So, can you guys tell me which one of these books... Hold on, we'll do this afterwards. So, we'll do this one first. Have you picked your pumpkin? Yes, we have picked our pumpkins right now. And actually, if they're outside right now still in the field, they'd just be getting rotten. A pumpkin seed is tucked into sun-warmed earth. Spring rains soften its tough coat. A root reaches for nutrients. A sprout reaches for light. Soon, jagged leaves rise from twisty vines, wandering in all directions. Bees visit golden blossoms, spreading pollen from flower to flower. Here and there, tiny green knobs replace wilted flowers. And actually, if you look right there at this blossoms, you can see right there is... The knobs change color and slowly swell, growing heavier by the day. Cooler nights arrive, vines shrivel. Left behind are pumpkins, pumpkins, pumpkins. Pumpkins are a type of squash. They can be green, red, tan, yellow, white, or even blue. The pumpkins we know best are bright orange. There are tall pumpkins, short pumpkins, smooth or bumpy pumpkins. Wee ones only inches wide, or giant ones you can sit inside. Thump, thump, thump. A pumpkin sounds hollow, but inside it's stringy, wet pulp and oodles of slippery white seeds. Seeds might be saved to grow next year's pumpkins, or dried for a crunchy snack. Who made that face when you carved your pumpkin?
Not me.
Pumpkin pulp smells sharp and tangy, but can be made into delicious breads, desserts, and soups. Sugar pumpkins go into the spicy pies we bring to our Thanksgiving tables. The end. Unless, was there something else pumpkins might be used for? Oh, there it is, pumpkin pie. Pumpkin cookies. How about, oh yes, jack-o'-lanterns. Will you give yours? And we already did this part, didn't we? So maybe I'll say, did you give yours a funny face or a creepy one that sends shivers up your back? Did it have a head of straw? Will it be the head of a straw-filled scarecrow? Will your jack-o'-lantern decorate your kitchen table among striped gourds and sunset-colored leaves? Or will it set your porch aglow on a spooky Halloween night, lighting the way for a curious cat? Unused pumpkins are fed to farm animals or left in the field to nourish the precious soil, awaiting spring under a wintry blanket. So since this is more like a Thanksgiving thing, we can actually go like from here to here and then skip the whole jack-o'-lantern part, huh? Because we already did those parts. So, which book is fact? Which book is fiction or nonfiction? Do you remember what fiction means?
It was real.
Fiction is a pretend story. What does nonfiction mean?
It's real.
Trent, please take your feet off of that tray. I'm not giving people new trays because you are abusing them and they break. All right, so, Clayton, which one of these books is fiction?
Pete the cat.
Pete the cat, correct, is fiction. And Carter, which is nonfiction?
The pumpkin one.
Good, seed sprouts and pumpkin pie, good. So that's a good thing for you guys to learn. And we will do some more tomorrow.